Running late. How late? 10 minutes. Come on. Express yourself. Don't repress yourself. All I'm saying. Okay, so before I bring in, let's get to business. Actually, wait, let me just do a visual check before everything goes down because my mind is like, oh, okay. Okay, I got your request. Hang on tight for like 10 seconds. Let me give you the big, you know. Okay. Um, his papa's got his notes. Welcome, everybody. I don't know why I'm so hoarse today. Listen, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm getting old. And said no one, right? But Wendy Williams always says that every other day as we get older, it's something different. It's either that or the like. Today it's the and not for the reasons I'd like. How dare you? Okay, welcome. I gotta edit that out of my motto. The actual audio. All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's get started. Let's give him his roses. I've got my glasses on, which broke about a minute ago. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That notification. Welcome, everybody. I am Carlos Reyes, your host of Los Lounge Podcast. And this episode is being recorded because, we need memories. We need a visual. And life is short, too. And I feel like it's always good to, leave those moments, darling, as Mariah says, for the generations afterwards. So I'm excited. And it's 9/11. I'm usually asleep right now. How dare you? How dare you keep me up this late, sir? No, totally worth it. All right, so let's get started. My guest co-host, right? Because no one's just like a guest. When you come to the lounge, by the way, she works hard for the money, honey. Honey, this is me going to work. I never leave home without my high heels and a handbag and my blush. All right, let's get started. The whole world's watching. My guest is a friend who he's living his dream. And I'm actually going to quote him before he comes in. He says, actually, this quote is so dope. And I was telling him earlier that I was going to go off the top of my head and come from the heart with my questions because I those questions are good. Those conversations are probably sometimes the best, right? But I do not want to disappoint, and structure is good, and it's all about details and focus. So I do have my notes. I did a lot of reading because I was so proud. I felt like a proud brother, a proud father, mother, sister, neighbor, I don't know, Billy Goat. And so with that said, I love this quote, and I know you're watching this because you're waiting for me to bring you on. I am living my childhood dream. Middle school is where I found fashion. High school is where I found style. Dope. Style. Even if it requires no clothes. Let's bring him on because I know he's waiting, and we've been waiting for a while. So I want to welcome my guest. And I know it says only one person watching now, but the whole world's about to watch Justin. And not only that, on Power Live Radio and also through the apps. Let's bring him on. International fashion designer, Justin Haynes. Hey, where'd you go? Hey, what did I do? Hi, there you are.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah, you totally won the background. Can I see the background? Look at you. You're killing it. Hi, handsome. How are you? Icon, fashion god, friend.
This is the first workspace. So I'm in the before there was a studio. This was it. So I see everybody on. Hey Tanisha. Hey DJ.
Listen, shout out to everyone that's logging on. And I know that typically people wave and wave back. So I'm doing that. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it. I'm waving because I don't want to keep going back and forth. To everybody who's just, Justin, give me one quick second. To everybody who's just joining in now, my name is Carlos Reyes. I am the host of Los Lounge Podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms. I feel like one of those memes you see on Twitter, like trying to get people to subscribe. But listen, He works hard for the money. And also sponsored by Power Live Radio. Big shout out to Garabatos. Justin, my brother,
What's going
how
on?
are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little tired on a Monday, but it's okay. Justin's
It's
like,
Monday.
these are my work hours,
Yeah, I
24/7.
mean,
How are
it's
you
not.
doing, King? Post like, well, we're not at the end of it, but we're coming towards what we hope to, be at the pandemic. But just 2020, 2021, post all everything. How are you? How are you here and here?
Mentally, I'm fine. Spiritually, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I'm fine. I think I'm great in all aspects. The reason why, um, at first, when everything went down as far as the pandemic and stuff, my whole thing wasn't really the scare of the virus. It was just a scare of what I put together and how it was going to remain relevant, as far as the brand, who I was, and all of that, which I shouldn't have had any worries because God has kept everything right intact, even better than I can imagine. So I'm actually in a good place. I think the pandemic was a lesson. I think not just for me, but it should be a lesson for everyone that outside of what we think social media can do, we think people can do. Everything lies within us. So we hold everything that we can continue to do, our brands, our family, our focus, everything's in our hands. And it's up to us what we do with it. We can't wait for social media. I can't wait for editors. I can't wait for magazine editors. I can't wait for publishers. I can't wait for podcast hosts. I have to do it so that at
Mhm.
the end of the day, um, it all meshes together and things will continue to go on.
And you're doing it with style. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
You
I'm
won the
trying.
glasses war today. Well, you're gonna win everything. You're fashion god.
Stop,
Look,
stop.
I was telling Justin, I was like, I'm about to sue you for a patch. I don't want no money. I don't want to close. I just want one of the patches. Because I had like an anxiety attack at the closet. Like, what the hell? And look, even still now, like, but I'm giving
I
you
mean,
Easter.
I
I'm
mean,
giving you
basic blue, and you gave me a plaid hat. That's
basic
great.
blue. That was shade. No, I'm joking. I
Basic
love
is
you.
always good. We
All
always
right,
need that.
before I
We
get
always
to
need basic.
all this and notes, just from friend to friend and just like 413 to 413, it's so good to see your face,
Same.
you know?
Likewise.
And
Yeah.
we've lost so many people, so many of our like fellow soldiers, even from SciTech along the way. And life is short and we keep losing our icons along the way.
Right.
I think, like you said, the pandemic really woke us all up. I think it kind of put us all in a universal way of thinking of just appreciation, at least I hope. Um, and so it's just good to see you. It really, really is.
It's
Thank you
good to
for
be
doing this.
seen.
I know that's right. Thank you for doing this. And so let's get to it. I have my notes because if not, then I'll go off of on a tangent. So, SciTech, let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, it's been what are you, class 1999?
99.
99. So 23 years later, talk about it. What has everything been like for you? Just even before fashion and just like, just for Justin as a just basic catch up.
Um, Things have been. I mean, wow, 23 years. That's a long time.
Look, come on now. Come on
23
now.
years is a long time. I mean, but things have progressed. Like when I left high school, as I was, graduating, I was still at the Gap. So
Yeah. Shout
things
out
were
to the
still
Gap.
there. Yeah, shout out to the Gap because they actually helped build my start. So, from there, just kind of work happened and
Hmm.
fashion happened. I think that was a lot of my training. That's not a lot of where I was able to build a brand from high school leading up to where I am now. 23 years is a lot. Even if I look back at reunion times and when, I see different ones of my classmates, like I'm glad to see everyone still winning. I'm glad to see
Mm.
some people working in the jobs that they said they were going to work at when we were talking, in the careers that they wanted to do. So
Hmm.
for me, it's really been a consistent journey of retail, fashion, and Justin, really. So that's really where I've been since high school. So nothing's changed for me. It's been a consistent life.
You mentioned the Gap, and I used to work there from 2005 to 2000 and maybe 10 or 11. I can't
Yeah, I
even.
think you came. I think you came. I think you was at West Harper, right? You was at. Yeah.
Yeah, at
Okay.
West Farms. Yeah, and I have to shout them out because at that time, especially at West Farms, like the leadership there and just everyone,
Of
they were
course.
very structured, disciplined, and they gave you proper. Remember, like Lewis and Clark, that whole reinvention, and I thought that was pretty cool. And they really taught us a lot about I don't know, just fashion industry and all that. So you you were born with this, bro. Like you, high school, you snatched. Brother never wore jeans. Brother was coming out dressed to impress every day. So when I see you in denim now, I'm like, yay!
Hey,
um,
time change. Time
I,
change.
I love your quote though. I am living my childhood dream. Um, I'm living my childhood dream. Middle school is where I found fashion. High school is where I found style. That's a whole bar. Who are your style icons?
Well, me number one.
Hello.
I have to be
Woo.
my own. But a lot of people don't understand the difference between fashion and style. Like fashion and style are two different things.
Yeah.
Fashion is what I wanted to do. That's what we wear every day. That's what we do. So fashion is the clothing that we wear. It's the garments and the pieces that we love.
Yeah.
But style is really how you put it together and how you find who you are. And that's one thing that high school really kind of led me to be able to find my style and who I am. A lot of my style icons to this day is Ben Sherman. I love Ben Sherman because he was consistent in his brand. Every time, if anybody doesn't know Ben Sherman, you should look him up. He was the king of gingham, the king of plaids. So it was a lot of basics, but all of his linings, all of his trims, all of his details were a lot of plaids, and you were able to recognize his brand. And that's what kind of built from there. The Gap was
Mm.
actually a huge style icon, and a big, huge reinforcement when it came to the business aspect. Because believe it or not, as you know, to be able to direct and handle windows and merchandising presentations and all of that.
Mhm.
And not only that, for other stores and the district and different things
Mhm.
like that, that was a huge part in making who I am. So big shout out to Ray Brooks, who was actually my manager, and Tracy.
Mine too.
Yeah, Tracy, who was my district manager, who actually
Yes,
led me
Tracy
into the
Wilson.
district. Yeah, Tracy and Ray were the reasons why I was able to run the district on the visual level. So um, I got to thank them. But, those are my style icons. And right now, I always would love Ralph Lauren because that's who I wore in high school. So those three would be my ultimate style icons.
I love that you said Ray and Tracy. Oh my God! And look how we're also connected from them too. Ray Brooks is on my Facebook, and one of the first things I said was, "I finally grew up. I pulled my head up my ass." He's like, "Thank God." I love him. So Gap, yes, Gap. Shout out to the Gap, everything Gap. I still love the Gap. I wish I was a little bit more prepared in the sense I have a dope book. Um, I'll take a picture of it later and show you, but you'll really appreciate it. Let's go back to here. So uh, you were the first to do a casting call, first designer, fashion designer, to do a casting call at the Enfield Square Mall, which is not too far from our hometown.
Hmm.
First person to do a fashion show at City Hall. Full circle moment. Your graduation was at City Hall or no?
It was.
It was. Okay, cool. So full circle moment for you when you
full
did that?
circle full circle moment for me there, and even at infield now. Infield Square, Melinda is one of the GMs there now, but she was
Oh,
actually the assistant then. I actually walked in the building. It was my first really event. Any clothes together. I haven't sewn one
oh,
piece.
sorry about that.
I kind of did one or two garments, and I just kind of went in there, told them my plan, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to introduce myself to the world. And I walked around the mall. Info Mall was booming then. I walked around the mall. I was like, I need to do it right here in the middle of the center court. She was like, sure, no problem. She took a chance. I didn't. I had nothing to show. So she took a
Sure.
chance. Um, and it was there, a huge day, all day Saturday. Mall was full. It was a huge event. Still have pictures to this day. But full circle back to there, 13 years later, um, I went to ask her again because I wanted to go back and do my 40th birthday and my 72nd collection show there. Same manager, same janitor, same everybody's there. They remember
Mm,
me. She gives me this beautiful location, which I'm still there now. So it's like a full
mm.
circle. And same with City Hall. City Hall was a
Yeah,
dream. I remember walking the stage to get my diploma, and I remember like, okay, this is going to be like a place where I have a show. Like this is where I wanted to do that. And not only that, it was just a point of nobody has ever done it before, so I wanted to do that. So, yeah, full circle moments, and I thank God for them.
hey man, oh, I'm so proud of you. I really am. Um, Listen, awards. 2019 Best Women's Ready to Wear Designer. And correct me if I'm wrong on anything. Like fact check me on anything.
Hmm.
And don't let Madonna I'm trying to get to work distract you. Uh, 2019 Fashion Lifestyle Award by the Black Business Association.
Hmm.
Natural Born Artist 2 years in a row. 2019, 2020. I love when Wendy Williams does that. Um, talk about it. How does that feel? The recognition.
The recognition has been amazing. I remember when um, when it came up that I was in the running for best woman's ready to wear, and I was the only designer that wasn't from New York, that wasn't from Jersey area, that wasn't from anywhere else. I was the only Massachusetts. So I was like, okay, when voting
Springfield,
time
Mass.
came, Springfield. So when voting time came, I'm like, I may not get it, but I went and showed up either way. I made sure that I was there that night. um, I was there, I was present that night, and for them to call my name and for me to bring that award home was like amazing, it was like a shock factor. I couldn't believe, like, I'm like, wow, like I actually won this award out of 10, 15 other designers who have been in the game longer than I have. Not even that, but to even be called a fashion lifestyle icon, not even with the business association, but now on Google and excuse me, everywhere else, it's still kind of overwhelming because it just all happened just out of the blue. Things that I dreamed of being. A lot of people call me an icon. I still feel like there's more work I have to do to become an icon. But
Mm,
to even have that title over me is it's amazing to me.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that's the feeling I get. Like I still can't believe it. If that means anything, I still can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. What is the young boy that I'm sure he's still well alive, and what I'm saying, like that used to look at fashion magazines. It must be such a gratifying feeling, and not in a egocentric way, but just like thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? Like
Right. And I mean, that's really it. It just, when I look back on it, it still feels like a dream, to be honest with
yeah,
you. And I can tell anyone, if you take these moments, you know, every win you should celebrate. But if you take these moments as a moments that you deserve and that are moments that um, you're taking it out the wrong way. Uh, you should take these moments and be grateful for them because anyone else can have these moments besides you. And in fashion, as we always say, one day you're in, one day you're out. That goes with anyone. So you have to make sure that you take these moments and you take them with gratitude. As you build and get these moments, take these moments with gratitude and be thankful for them so that more can come.
you know what's funny? I have in my notes. I have a bunch of notes. I have more
Have
notes,
at it.
more pages of notes for this. I came prepared. Well, I didn't want
Have
to
at it.
disappoint you either, though. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
Um, Gratitude. I love that word. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Who are you grateful? I mean, I feel like I know some of the answers, but who are you grateful for personally and professionally?
God, number one, I'm grateful for him because he made it all possible. Number two, my mom, because when I left my job, my last luxury retail job, that was paying me close to eight figures, and was
Ooh,
going to relocate me and all of that. When I left the job, and I left right when I left the job, and I was driving home, and I told my mom what I was doing. Like she was so supportive in that, like until this day, she still supported me. So I got
yeah.
to give a shout out to her. Outside of that, Miss Jessie, my mentor, the one that taught me everything I know. So all these pieces that you see
Uh,
back here and everything that you see online and everywhere else, she was the reason why I can sew. She set me down in her basement. 6 months after my first show because I didn't feel like I could do my first show. So she set me down in her basement. She helped me with my first show. She set me down in the basement for 6 months before my second show.
Sure.
And she did not let me get up. So it was morning to night I was doing it. So that's the reason why. So I have to give those three the number one. And then outside of that, all of my upbringing and all of my business aspect of the brand, I have to give a shout out to all of my managers, all of my district managers, all of my regional managers, and all of my CEOs who actually made me regionals and made me districts so that I'll be able to run a business now. So
All
those
that's
are who I'm grateful for.
all that support. Monica, the R&B singer, once said, "Everyone you see on your way up, you see on the way down, like the system of the ladder of gratitude and what have you." One thing when I say Springfield, like what is that? What comes to your like? What do you feel? What do you know what I mean? Home. He's like,
I
I'm
mean,
glad I left.
Springfield's home, and it always will be. Springfield's as we all know, Springfield is a hard city to build anything if it's not politics or if it's not music, so you got to be consistent. So one thing I will do is I will celebrate the fact that, I was one of the first, so I celebrate the fact that I did not give up and not let the opinions of a lot of people around the area, around the city, stop me from doing what I need to do.
Yeah. And you got it. And so it's always about looking forward, isn't it? And just having that tunnel vision.
Of course.
I'm sure you've had your moments where, it's the noise that kind of gets to you. What do you rely on to block that and to just, channel and stay focused?
The channel and stay focused is I have to realize that now, before it really wasn't, but now I have a whole world that's looking up to what I'm doing. So outside of that, what brings me back in focus is like all these people were rooting for me at one particular time. If I give up, I'm not giving up on myself, but I'm giving up on other people. So I have to remember that in order to keep where I'm supposed to, and to remain streamlined where I'm supposed to go, I have to remain focused. So I mean, I have to remain focused. I have to do what God says, and I have to follow His path. And also, too, I have to remember that the vision was given to me to be able to bring fashion to a whole nother level, and that's what I have to do. So I can't give up on that. I have to make sure that it's seen all the way through.
I'm inspired by you right now. Damn it, man. Dropping bars. I know I should be Mr. Professional right now, but I am in all of you. Okay, listen. I just want to remind everybody who's watching. This is the new. This will be the new episode at Los Lounge Podcast, which is available everywhere. I'm having a fashion crisis because what you don't know. Well, not really in my basicness, but my glasses broke, so I had to put a little tape. Because apparently, Mr. Always using super glue over here, like totally didn't have any more. So
But this is where you messed up, though. Nobody has to know it's a fashion. Nobody has to know it's a fashion hiccup unless you say it. Could have been something that you wanted to do. So just because the tape is there doesn't mean
oh no,
it's broken.
it's okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, there's no shame. Oh look.
Okay.
Do you think there's shame here?
No, I'm just saying, but you don't owe anybody an explanation in fashion.
Yes, sir. Noted and noted. And by the way, really quickly, I want to give a big shout out to Coley who made this painting for me. Okay. Speaking of her, actually, and other celebrities like Janet and stuff like that. Who do you want to dress? And
Erykah Badu is number one. That's
oh my God.
I'm waiting for
That's
the day.
out right now. Yes.
It's Erykah Badu, Katy Perry, and Nick Cannon. It was actually those three. So Nick Cannon I've already kind of conquered somewhat on there. But Erykah Badu and Katy Perry are my number ones. Like they're together. I just want to get them all together. If I had to go a little further, it would be Janet Jackson, but I would want all three of them in a whole collection kind of display. So that's where my eyes are focused right now.
That's your answer, and I accept your professional answer. The friend in me wants to know, Katy Perry, really?
Love Katy.
Okay.
I love Katy. I love her style.
Okay.
I love who she is.
Nope, that's it. Nope, look, come on now. That would be awesome, and I hope it happens for you. And I know it's gonna happen for you. Justin, if you could relocate right now, pick up and go, where would you go if you don't already have, well, don't speak out on your plans. Don't let the world know. Where would you go? Where would you bring all this greatness to? I mean, it's already accessible to the world internationally. especially through your website. But and I'll share all that information in 1 second. But where would you love to like sit and reside?
Internationally, it'll be internationally.
So you're
It'll
just a
definitely the next world. It will definitely be overseas. It'll be the next country, the next continent. That's where I see myself. So I know that that's where I'll be. I don't see myself in New York. I see myself visiting New York. I see myself being another staple. New York has been excellent to me. It's been wonderful to me, and I will always hold New York as a next staple. So New York will be my next staple, and then I plan to go abroad. So I don't really. There won't be in Atlanta. There won't be in LA. That's not where I see myself. So it's definitely I'm going to another country.
You've always presented confidence, even in school and class. All I mentioned earlier, all well, some of your awards, but you can also add to his resume, editor at the high school yearbook.
It was. I sure was. I sure was. I remember
Wait,
that. I sure was.
yeah, and I think even the year before you graduated, the year you graduated afterwards, like there was nobody was ever satisfied with superlatives. There was always some scandal, or not even scandal, but you know, it was silly. But
It was a shaky thing, but yeah, editor in chief of the yearbook, guys. Y'all take that down with editor in
oh,
chief.
okay.
Okay.
Shout out to Charlotte Steen, who
Yes, Mrs. Steen, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Steen. Oh, I don't know if she's married now, but God, I forgot my question already. Oh my God. You know what? We'll move on because I whatever. It's okay, but I got lost on that. So with that said, Nick Cannon, you jumped me to the gun on this. I saw the episode. I saw it a couple of days after the fact on YouTube because that's how I watch most of my shows on YouTube, and
Hmm.
I gagged, and I was so proud. I'm actually disappointed they canceled his show because I thought it was
Oh yeah.
really good, really,
Right.
really good. Talk about that experience and Nick.
I mean, the experience was great. I actually walked. Let's go back. I was actually on Instagram Monday, and I got a message from one of the show producers, and they were like, "Hey, how are you, Justin? We want you to come on the show and be a guest." And I'm like, "Sure. What do you mean?" They're like, "We'll give you tickets. You guys can come sit in the audience, so on and so forth." So I didn't know if it was true or not. There's a lot of things,
Sure.
whatever. But the credentials were there, so I said, "Sure, no problem." So they sent the tickets. I get there. Fast forward to the day I get there. I actually happened to run to the restroom, and Chad, who's the audience guy, he was like, "That's him. That's him. That's him." So I looked back and I continued to. Out. They were waiting outside of the restroom for me. It was like, "We want to get you a one-on-one with Nick." They was like, "Are you open to it? Can you do it?" And I'm like, "Sure." They were like, "You look amazing," so on and so forth. So we just gotta, they were asking me a bunch of questions. So I go upstairs, and then the executive producer comes over, and she was like, "I love your look." She's like, "We're gonna get you on the segment," and I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Yep." She said, "We're gonna get you on the segment." She said, "But we're gonna use the damn cam as that way of getting you in." I was like, "Sure, no problem." So I get on, and immediately they called me, and then the damn cam happened, but it was a different aspect of the damn cam. He was asking questions, and he wanted me to do a suit and all that stuff. So it was a very surreal
Yeah.
moment. And then for it to blast, like, I mean, my Instagram and my Facebook was like broke that day. Like it was just like gone. So for it to go and blast was amazing. So what I knew I had to do, because it was on national TV and it
Yeah.
was abroad, I had to, I wanted to get it done as soon as possible. So a couple of weeks later, I went back. I brought him a suit, and there you have it.
I'm so proud of you. And let me just tell you something that it's cool to see you, Jamila. Big shout out to Miss Jam,
Yep.
who was on the Cannon show as well with Lisa Lisa. She backup dances for Lisa Lisa, as we know, or as you and I know, maybe the world
Right.
now. I mean, just saying it
Hmm.
if they're following. But it was awesome to see like my peers, like just and doing the things like you mentioned earlier, really just living in your purpose.
Right.
um, Things that you spoke of. I remember my thought now. Back in school, you used to walk with so much confidence, and Justin was. If you think he's a force now, he was not to be played with in high school. Not that you were rude to people. You weren't, that I know of. I mean, you never did that with me, but you. Justin was always secure. Like he was a force and an energy behind all that. And after all that, what do you do for self-care? Like, and are you taking time out? I know you're in the middle of your hustle and you're creating an empire, but are you taking moments too for here and here?
Um, believe it or not, those moments for here and here are in my work element. A lot of people find
Mm.
that weird, but that's where I get the most comfort
I,
when I can do
I
what
understand.
I do. When I'm blocked from that, that's where the anxiety and all that stuff comes, because it's really a passion to me. This is not a job just to make money. This is a career, and this is a passion of mine. So like, I enjoy the late nights, although it does get overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. There are times I'm like, oh, I need to sleep, but I enjoy those moments of being up at night, getting stuff done, because I know in the morning or the next day my customers are and my clients are waiting on those. So
Yeah.
that's what brings me joy. So that brings me um, it brings me happiness. And I'm sitting on the train and I'm sitting on the plane and I can breathe from a show. That's my happy moment right there. So it's different from everybody else. I don't need a vacation. I tell
Yeah.
everybody, they're like, you need to go on vacation. I'm like, I will, but a vacation for me will be just a duffel bag and me. That's
Ooh.
it. You know, I don't want to bring a whole lot. I bring a whole lot everywhere I go. So whatever that destination point is, I just want a duffel bag, roll some khakis up, some Converse, some
Okay.
t-shirts, and
Okay.
kind of just, that's a vacation for me. You know, so that's what
Look,
I look forward to.
and you mentioned her earlier, Erica Badu, pack light.
Right, right,
um,
right.
Ruth Carter, right? That's the last name, her last, right? Of
Yeah.
Springfield, who is also a international fashion designer as well. Do you
Costume. She's a costume designer.
costume designer? My apologies.
Yeah,
Thank. Do you guys have a relationship and bond
of
as well? Or,
course. Of
yeah,
course. I love Ruth Carter.
that, but I
She
just
is, yes, I love Ruth Carter. She is actually another mentor of mine. She came a little later on, but she's so amazing. We actually did a motivation session during the pandemic, and I had her on screen and we were answering questions. We opened it up to a private group, and to this day, she's the reason I did the Oscar Awards. And she's the reason why things happened. Reason why I did that, because I had planned to shut down. It was Valentine's Day, and I said, I'm gonna take the month of February off, and I'm gonna get ready for the Oscars. And she was like, why are you stopping? February is the busiest month in fashion. I'm like, it is, but I have fashion week. She was like, no, you need to do that. And her words when she said that, she was like, you have no breaks. She said, your breaks come on off seasons. She said, you have no breaks. Like, there is no break to get ready for. You have to do it. And that sticks in my head now. So there are no breaks. Like, I got to keep going. And then immediately, more press started coming the more I kept working. So she's an amazing factor. Shout out to her niece who actually put us together, Erica Bolden, who was actually married to one of my cousins. So she
oh,
put us together. And the night I met Ruth Carter was at her home. She called
mhm.
me that afternoon and she was like, Ruth Carter wants to meet you. You need to get over here right away. And I'm like, she
Right.
wants to meet me? And she was like, yeah. So I went over there and it was amazing. She complimented my work. And even to this day, she tells me how wonderful my work is. So
Mm,
to have an icon, an Oscar winning
mhm.
uh, costume designer tell you that your designs are amazing, that's great. It's humbling. So she's definitely a huge part of my career.
You just inspired two questions. What I mean, I know. Uh, no, let me rethink that. Do you already do costume designing too? Have you gone down that route
It's
for
coming. It
film
won't be.
or tours?
Yes, yeah, I've done all that. And it's going to get a little heavier. Actually, she actually mentioned that because she really was like, LA is where you need to be. I don't want to go to LA. Yes, I don't want to tip too much into that. I feel that
Okay.
there's enough costume designers. I think if there's like whenever she needs me, you know, she definitely reaches out. However, I feel that that's her lane. I feel that that's, you know, I like to stay in my lane, and I feel that costume designing are for the costume designers who have a passion for that. I don't have a passion to be in to do a whole lot of costumes and just
Okay.
do movies and that. I don't have a passion to do that.
I just wondered if there was like an intersectionality, just like
There
within
will
your own.
be, and I think there's always going to be an intersection in fashion. It depends
Sure.
on if you want that to be your career.
Right.
It's
Right.
a
Right.
different thing. It's a different thing when you dibble and dabble in it, and then you make that your career.
Tell me about the pieces behind you, because I'm living right now for the over here on this side, the red with the
Mhm.
black.
Oh, okay. That's actually from the Mellow collection that's on CFDA now. Everybody doesn't know what CFDA is. It's Council of Fashion Designers of America, which I'm thankful that I'm actually a designer on. Um,
Ooh,
um, that
yes.
happened about a year and a half ago. So This collection is called the Mellow Print. It's actually on the CFDA platform. So
Okay.
that whole collection is there. So that jacket is one of the featured jackets on there. This shirt actually came, this shirt was done at New York Fashion Week. A friend of mine, I made the shirt, a friend of mine named Porn, his lesson one here on Instagram, he did this shirt. I did the denim collection for New York Fashion Week.
It
And
look
he put, and this collection actually made Billboard in Times Square. So when it made Times Square, this shirt was actually one of the featured shirts. So I was totally excited. I still have it because I'm scared to get rid of it. And this is one of the animal print, the red animal print that is on the Mellow collection. So it's Mellow, and this is the denim collection. So yeah, those are the pieces behind me.
72 collections, I heard you say earlier. Did I get that right?
70. It was 72 in October. We're a little bit more than that now.
Okay. So, you know, you look at each collection as your baby, right? Every artist has their whatever, if you know, whether you dance or write or create fashion or what have you.
Right.
Uh, what would have been some of your, teach me, because, you know, I'm still learning in the process too, but what have been some of your favorite collections? You know, talk to me about that.
I do
Or,
have favorite collections, and the reason why everybody actually like you do so many. I take this job as what I did with the Gap. Like the Gap, I was changing
ooh,
windows every single week. If it wasn't my particular store, I was going out to stores, and there was always, as everybody know, in retail back then, it's not really like that now. But there was always some type of refresh. There was always something new. We always made sure when we came together to build the windows out to get them together, there was always something new that the client saw, and that's where that comes from. I don't ever want to be stale and they see the same thing over and over again.
hmm,
But to your point, my dungaree collection that was just which is one of my favorites now. My dungaree collection, that's actually my favorite at this particular moment. I have a lot of favorites moments. So at the particular moment, dungaree, you guys got to look that up. Dungaree is my favorite collection right now. Mellow Print was another collection, but if we also go to now my luxury label. If you go to Onyx, that's another baby of mine. So between Duggery, Onyx, and then Mellow Print, those are my babies right now.
all right. We love the babies. By the way, we've got Will. I'm giving you Will today, Justin, because I'm not canceling him, although I'm not even going to voice my opinion. I'm giving you David Bowie, and I'm
Okay.
giving you Biggie. I'm just letting you know. I put all my little quirky decorations for you. I want to talk to you
Okay.
about the patches. I see a lot of patches, and just it's very eccentric and very you like miss. And correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes you like I don't know. I don't even know how to articulate it. But where did the patches, the idea and the aesthetic come from?
The aesthetic came from after my first show. So after my first show, I had so much in my head that had built up from middle school. I just, it was a total washout. I have to say, my first show. Well, if everybody looks at it, I look back out on it now. I took everything that was in my head and I just made it work. And which was the wrong thing to do because I was expressing myself for me, not expressing myself for others. So I had to wheel back and I had to revamp. So I was trying to figure out how do I still bring tailored pieces, but still give the color and the different textures of fabrics and the different mixed prints. How do I still build that and push it together?
Yeah,
So I remember making my first suit, and I started putting patches all over the suit. This is a tailored suit, and I started putting patches all over it. And I was like, this is dope. I'm gonna wear it.
it
You know,
is.
regardless if anybody didn't like it or not. I thought it was dope. And immediately that's where everything was just like, this is it. This is wherever. It was like, everybody, I want that jacket. I want that suit. I want this. I want that. And I'm like, this is where it is. I wanted there to be a signature that signified who Justin H was, not the tag in the label, because everybody knows if you do not know, you can rip a tag out of anything and call it your own. I don't want that. I want this to be what you see and know that that's Justin H.
Would you say like if it's avant-garde almost like? Because look, you're giving me rainbow glasses, you're giving me all these like different bold patterns and stuff like that, and I always like I watch your post and see like, and I'm like, damn it, man, it's so dope. I see you. What's your relationship with Japan and that market and just Asian market and just
I'm
because
doing
it
some
almost
training
because
there.
it gives me vibes, like you give me vibes of over there almost. Does that
Okay.
make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's why that answers the question that you asked me before. That's where I want to go. You know, and I'm doing a lot of training and mentoring as a fashion coach in, you know, different parts of the world. Um, but that's where I want. I mean, that's what it is. Those are inspirations. Those international pieces. You know, vintage is inspiration to me. Like if you go to the 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, everybody dressed so well. So that's where you feel that modern vintage for me. They call me modern vintage. They call me that guy that brings those pieces back because I want to bring that
Mm.
dressing age back to today's era.
Best fashion trend of the 90s and worst fashion trend of the 90s.
I don't think that there was a best or worst. For me, it's always been uh if you like it, wear it.
I love it.
So I don't
I love it.
so for me, I don't criticize a lot of if I like it or if I don't like it. If you like it, wear it.
Yeah,
It may not be for me, it may not be for you, but doesn't
yeah,
mean that it's my job to say that it's awful. You know, so that's the fashion world that's what we need to come together, and that's what we need to understand, especially for my brand. I know that everybody's not meant to wear Justin H. I
yeah,
automatically
yeah,
know that. So I'm not trying to make sure. That's why I'm not mass producing anything. That's why I'm only doing one-on-ones. Everything's couture. Everything's, you know, unique. I know that, you know, there's not 1,000 people in Springfield that need to wear Justin H. I'm good with that. You know, just like there's like 1,000 people that don't like Gap. There's 1,000 people that don't like Banana Republic. There's 1,000 people that don't like Louis Vuitton. You know, so there's different people. So you got to understand. So you have to build whatever your fashion sense is, and then build your style on top of that. So if you like it,
yeah.
if you love it, wear it. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to criticize you either because I don't like it.
Right, right. I feel like the Gap needs to pick up the phone if they haven't already and call Justin and be like, "We need you. Come on now, let's speak it into existence. Come on,
Hey,
come on. You've paid your dues with
I
the
appreciate that.
Gap.
I
Big
appreciate
shout
that.
out to Gap Inc. again. Um,
19 years, 19 years,
damn it, man.
19 years.
Does that make you a lifetime member, grandfathered in for that discount?
I'm
He's like, I'm
lifetime.
walking up picking up free clothes now.
I'm lifetime. I'm good. Yes, 19 years,
I
19
know
years.
that's right. I want to talk to you. Let's get a little serious. Well, it's all serious, but maybe I should get serious. So don't make fun of me. What inequalities or inequities are you experiencing? I'm trying to put that. I'm thinking of the right way to say this because I don't want to come off too immature or whatever. But have you faced in the fashion world? What bullshit? Let me just say, what bullshit have you faced that you can speak on,
I
or
think
that you would
I,
like to share?
I think in any industry, especially in the fashion industry, there are going to be those moments where it's going to be those. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be those moments where it's you feel it's unfair. You know, but one thing I had to learn in this industry, and I can't really talk about any other industry because that's not my industry. I can talk
Sure,
about the fashion industry. One thing I
sure,
learned in this fashion industry is that it's what you make it. So that means if you feel that things are unfair, if you feel that you're not getting the opportunities that you're deserving of it,
sure,
what have you done to get those opportunities? And a lot of people say, you know, that fashion industry doesn't like, you know, particular models, or they don't like particular clothing, or they don't like particular this one, or you have to be well known to get this person. And that's not true. A lot of people who are where I am in the New York Fashion Week arena, or the Fashion Week arena in general, or in the fashion industry, whoever they are, they've worked and they've paved the way for themselves. So in to cross out those BS moments, you got to
yeah,
be educated. So you got to know what's right and what's wrong, and you got to know for yourself. So a lot of times those BS moments come because you don't really know what's going on. You're
mm,
not sure. You're not sure about what it is. You're not sure about yourself. You're not sure about your brand. So you feel mistreated, and you think things aren't going your way. You know. So, but when you're educated in something, and you know the brand, and you know the industry, you know what's right, what's wrong, you can
sure.
continue to work and do what you need to do.
If you weren't doing fashion, do you? I feel like every artist says no, they want to. But maybe you might have a different answer. What would you do, or would you? Do you ever? Would you ever see yourself doing anything else? Because I don't see.
No,
I've known you since high school, and you weren't
no.
playing games then, and you sure as hell aren't playing games now.
Yeah, no, I don't see myself doing anything. I don't see myself in hospitality. I don't see myself waiting any tables because I don't have the patience for it. I don't see myself. Yeah, I have a heart for fashion. I have a heart
Yeah,
to
yeah.
style people. I have a heart to do that. I don't have a heart to do anything else. And, you know, and anybody who's watching, You have to do what
Yeah.
you have a heart for. You can't just do stuff just to make money. You can't do that. There's no fulfillment in that. We all need it, of course. We got to work to eat. However,
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
doing to make sure that you're making a difference and that you're loving what you do every day? Life is too short to just be getting by.
Yeah, and I just have to just kind of piggyback off of what you're saying right now, because an example, like for me, this show, when I started back in September, it was just playing around and just verbal journaling until I learned more and educated myself and started networking and doing it or in my opinion, I'm doing my best for now. Or maybe it's not my best, but the point is I'm trying to say is I love doing this. It brings me purpose. I've met so many people in this particular field. I've gotten to be a part of the shout out to Garabatos podcast, my other team. And it's purpose. It's part of purpose. My goal, Justin, for me is that someone from my numbers keep rising,
Hmm.
and that a network sees my show or hears my show and says, "Damn it, man, that dude's got something. Let's you know what I mean? Let's go."
But the way to that,
And
but the way to that
and
is being consistent. So as long as
yeah,
you
and
can stay
just and I
consistent, you're good.
and I've been doing. We're almost at 100 episodes, and I know that this is all part of the process, and I'm so grateful. And just the fact that you're even here, I'm humbled and I'm grateful, because it really does mean the world to me. Um, I'm gonna. I have a few more questions real quick, and I won't hold you up all night. I promise you. I
Sure,
know
that's
you're
fine. It's
busy.
fine. It's okay.
Um, so purpose. Before I forget, uh, you're living your purpose. What does that word mean to you?
What it is, purpose, like it means doing what you're supposed to do, what you're destined to do. That's your purpose. A lot of people don't know what their purpose is in life. Um, and I know my purpose because I'm doing it. Knowing your purpose and actually figuring out what your purpose is takes a lot of prayer and self-reflection. You have to visit yourself and know what your purpose is. And a lot of people, and I have to say this, a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs take somebody else's purpose and think it's theirs, and it's really not, because you see them doing so great in their purpose, so you feel that if I do it, or if I do what they're doing,
The
I can do the
formula.
same thing to do. I can do the same thing, but which is not true, because just like me, just like you, just like anybody who's building a brand or building um, a career for themselves in whatever industry it is, there's things that we have to go through. So if you're willing to pay the price to get where I am, that's fine. But you won't if that's really not your destiny and your purpose.
We recently just lost several months ago fashion icon Andre Leon Talley, who I adore. Have you ever met him?
I did. I did.
Can you tell? Now I'm fangirling even more. Can you tell me about that experience? Well, tell the whole world about that experience and what he was like and what he meant to you in the fashion world.
He was great. I have to say he was never uppity. He was never untouchable. Like I think, he touched a lot of people's lives. And one thing I can say, out of all of the posts that I saw of them giving, their RIPs or just saying something about them, I didn't think that that was BS. I know for a fact that everybody had some genuine moment, because it was never just a handshake with him. It was
Yeah,
always, what are you doing and how are you doing this? And he always left an impact, and everybody was always important to him. Even if you weren't on his level or whatever, you were always important. So I have to say, he was a great loss in the industry. But
mm,
I think he's built so
yeah.
many others to come behind him.
I know it's gonna be a little bit sad, like seeing the Met. Well, I mean, it already is. Seeing the Met Gala, like Vogue post. He always did the interviews,
Right.
pre-show, after show. It's
But
we
you always
miss
got
him.
to remember, there's always someone destined to, to continue on. And I believe that he made it happen. I believe there's a purpose for whoever's going to come and continue. I think he paved the way and he did his due. I believe that his time was up in what he needed to do. It's a loss for us, especially in the fashion industry. However, I do know that what's meant to be will be.
You mentioned the Oscars earlier, and we're going to manifest your continuation and work with whether it's with celebs or for the actual show itself. I just want to know, and I'm sorry if I sound so like unprepared in this. Have you done Met Gala? Have you?
I haven't done Met Gala yet. No, I haven't done Met Gala yet.
Who would be your three celebrities you take other than? Oh, wait, you just answered that earlier. Okay, give me
I
three
did.
other ones. Damn it, man.
Hmm.
Who would you love to walk down? I'm hoping he switches out Katy Perry. That's all. I'm really trying to get that.
I love Katie. Let me see. Maybe Lettucey. I think she'll be a good one.
You have to still take Erica Badu with you, though.
Yeah, I still take Erica. And then I think Pharrell.
Done, done and done, done and done. Still, would you take her with clothes on, Madonna? You know
Um,
that's my girl, Justin.
yeah, that's your girl. That's your girl, though. So I'm not gonna take her away from you. I'm not gonna take her away from you.
I'm having a Sunny Hostin moment from The View.
Okay. Have your moment.
We always do this game, Justin, on the show at Lowe's Lounge Podcast, which, by the way, it's available on your favorite podcast app, everyone. Or please download the Power Live Radio app. You can listen to the show Saturdays from 12 to 2. Also, I just want to remind everybody, too, maybe I didn't say it already, your website, Justin, JUS10H.org. Did I get that right?
.com.
My apologies. Why did I write org? I'm sorry. Thank you so much. And that's where they can find your collections and get in touch with you and what have you. Where's Justin in 10 years? And they always say like it's not good to plan ahead. But what do you want to manifest from here on out? What's left? I kind of know, there's more, but
there's definitely more. But I will say, like, I'm taking it day by day, believe it or not. Like I said, internationally is where I want to live, not where I want to be, because I'm doing a lot of coaching there, but that's where I want to live. But I will say, for me, 10 years is that's the goal for 10 years. However, for me right now, I'm taking it day by day. There's so much that's coming, and I can't. I was that guy before where I was looking ahead of weeks and months and where to go and whatever. Oh, I see my cousin. That's not my cousin. But hey, Josh.
Hey, cousin.
I see. Yeah, I lost my train. Oh, I see. So much happening with myself that I can't. I can't go that far. So I have to stay. I have to take it day by day.
Stay
and
present.
Take it as it comes.
Stay present in the moment. Yes. All right. There's the fame. I don't know why I thought of this silly question earlier, but there's the phrase, when it rains, it pours. So when it rains and it pours, well, what am I wearing outside?
Whatever you want. But I mean, an average rain day attire of your raincoats and rain boots. That's the average person. So the average person will grab a raincoat, grab some rain boots, whether they're hunter boots or Ralph Lauren boots or whatever. But it just goes to what you want to wear in the rain. A lot of people don't want to wear raincoats. Raincoats are hot sometimes, So, I want to wear a raincoat. I may just want to layer up and put on a hoodie and a denim jacket and bring my classy umbrella. So you've got to do what works for you. Like, there is no, I'm trying to make sure that we get this. Like, there is no seasons, or there is no right colors, or there is no right, what I should do. Whatever you want to do it.
No faux
This is what fashion. This is what fashion is. It's what you want to do. Styling is different. So however you style it is still you too, but you put fashion together the way you want to. So fashion, remember everybody, fashion is what we wear. So you can wear what you want.
But style is how you put it together.
It's how you put it together.
Come on now. Come on. Justin, do you remember the VH1 Fashion Awards back in the 90s? Did you ever? You had to have watched those.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those? Oh, I wish they would bring those back. My God. All right. So
someone says, I don't mind the getting wet look. No umbrella. I'm with you on that. Hey.
Come on now. What do you wear when you're just downtime? Like, what does dress down look like for Justin?
Dress down is just from it's just really t-shirt and
Yeah.
khakis for me. That's really it. That's dress down. I'm not a sweat guy. I don't wear a lot of sweats. That's just not me. I mean, if I do wear them, it is around the house, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
if I fall asleep in them, like a cozy kind of thing. Like I don't. That's not a wardrobe go-to for me. It's never
Really
been.
you in that.
Yeah, it's never been. So like, you got to know what works for you. And I know sweatpants don't work for me. Sweatsuits don't work for me. And not because I dislike them. I do love them, but it's just something that does not work for me in a
Yeah.
stylish way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. I want to start winding this particular episode down, and there's two games I always play with everyone. I also want to give a big shout out to the first lady of the lounge who is dealing with COVID again.
Wow.
I think for like the second time. So yes, world COVID is still a thing. Please, I'm tired of saying 6 feet apart and all that, but we have to be responsible still and take care of each other. So a big shout out to you, Jasmine. Feel better. Um, let's versus was everything, so I'm just gonna throw some, and Nori does this on Drink Champs as well too. um Nicki Minaj or Little Kim?
It'll be Little
And you know
Kim.
what, let's base it, if you want to even base it on fashion, why not?
Yeah, it'll be Little Kim.
Beehive is going crazy everywhere right now with that.
It'll be Little Kim.
Michael or Prince?
It'll be Prince.
I'm not going to put these two together because I already know who you're going to go with, so let me separate these answers. Gaga or Madonna?
It'll be Gaga.
Janet or, you're gonna say Janet. Never mind. No, you know what? No, I don't know. Janet or Erica?
Badu?
And I'm not even talking about musically now. I'm talking because that's two different
Yeah,
styles.
no, it'll definitely be Erica. It'll definitely be Erica.
Ooh. 70s or 80s?
70s.
And one more in this. I'm not gonna say it's because you mentioned his name earlier. So let me think of something else. Dior or Calvin Klein?
Dior.
We're gonna play the one-word association game. I'll just say a quick word, and you already know since it's all in the title. But before we do that, to everyone who has watched on Instagram Live, I thank you. I know Justin does too. Please don't forget to subscribe to Los Lounge Podcast. It is available on every platform right now that you can, or you can just listen to it from the browser. Just hit subscribe. Support the dream. And before I forget too, Maya Angelou said, "There's nothing greater than thank you." That's what you say to God is thank you. So before I forget and all my silliness and whatnot with you, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm humbled.
I'm so proud of you, and and thank you for putting 413 on the map. Not only just in this country, but just internationally, and making us damn proud. And just reminding us, even we're the same age group, but just reminding us, like, no, we're still here. We have purpose. Come on now. Come on now. So one word. So thank you for that. I just wanted to
No
express.
problem. No problem. Thank you for having me.
And a big shout out to all your team and everyone watching. One word association game. Family.
So what is this again?
Oh, you're gonna say
Give me direction.
you're just gonna say the first word that comes to your mind.
Okay.
With my glasses.
Okay. So I'm saying the first word that comes to mind with family.
Yeah.
Love.
God.
Peace.
Denim.
It's fashion.
Look at you all grown up because you wasn't saying that 20 years.
It's fashion.
Culture.
It's success.
Oh my God. International.
It's style.
Grace.
It's mercy.
One more. Baduism.
I'd say it's fashion too. Like I think that she's
Hey.
She's fashion. She's an element all by herself.
Have you met her yet?
Not yet. It's coming though.
Yeah, Mama Badu, come on now, come on now, Queen. Listen, thank you once again for doing this. My hope and my prayer, and I know because you're already there, and you're just going. It's just that you continue, you never stop, and I know you won't, and you just really continue to achieving all of the things that you dream of, Justin. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm inspired by you. And people like you and Jamila, you guys come from here, and we watch you, and we just feel like proud family. And it gives us further motivation to keep being greater in what we do here, and knowing that I'm on my way out soon too. So I just want to thank you for everything. Thank you to your audience. Thank you to my audience.
Thank
And
you.
God bless you, and please stay safe. And Justin, just before we leave, tell everyone where they can find you on social media, and also the website again.
Okay, my website, Justin H. at the official Justin H. Facebook is Justin H. also, or my personal page is Justin Haynes. On Instagram, and not Instagram, Twitter, which I'm very seldom on, but it's the official Justin. It's actually Justin H. is Fashion on Twitter, the official Justin H. on Pinterest, and just regular Justin H. on Snapchat. Find me somewhere in there. You can always Google me. And thank you all, and thank you for having me. I don't always need a big platform. I think these are big platforms. So thank you for even taking the time to even have me come. And everybody remain consistent in what you do and keep styling.
Oh, keep styling. I have one more verses I just thought of. This is going to be random, and then we'll end it all. I'm sorry. One
Sure.
more. Naomi Campbell, Iman.
Naomi.
Ooh, that's a great way to end it.
Yeah.
Justin, have a beautiful evening.
You
I'm
too.
proud to
Thank
keep
you.
going, and good night, everybody. Thank you so
Good
much.
night. Thank you.